Back to the Future 4, Land Before Time. The author is RichardTerminator. The same author who wrote GoldenEye 2, Revenge of Alec and Sharptooth. Oh boy. Like that fanfic, today's review is going to be a summarized review because it's a little too long to review on my show. By like 79 words. Some of you are like, hey, you can pull that off and read the entire thing. Well, I would, but here's the thing. The story is incomplete. Now, I do not like reading incomplete stories. And normally I would just throw this review right out the window, but seeing the fanfic is pretty long itself, I think I can get away with doing a summarized review by reading the first chapter. So I'm going to do that. Oh, and in the future, please do not request incomplete stories. Thank you. Okay. The fanfic is rated K+. It's in English, it's adventure friendship, it's Marty McFly and Littlefoot, and it has 13 reviews. Let's get started. This is my first Land Before Time and Back to the Future crossover. I hope you like it. Enjoy. The year is 1986. A year after Marty returned from the year 1885, and Doc returned from the past to give Marty a picture of them stand at the new clock face of Clock Tower and return to 1885, scene when Marty hasn't seen Doc scene. Beside not seeing Doc for a year, everything was okay. That was all one sentence. With Marty, him and Jennifer, okay, why is the H in him capitalized? Unless his name is him. Oh, I get it. It's him from Powerpuff Girls. Him and Jennifer are now boyfriend and girlfriend. When Marty and Jennifer were at Marty House, the Marty House, okay, there was a knock on the door, okay, and that sentence ended with a comma, not a period. Punctuation marks, please, and thank you. I wonder who that could be, Marty said. Actually, it should say Marty asking you have a question mark. When he answered the door, he was surprised on who was at the door. Doc, Marty says. Doc says, Marty, okay, dialogue should be in its own separate paragraph, not in the same paragraph. They hug each other after not seeing each other for a year. How have you been, Marty? Doc asks. I've been thinking about you, Doc. I miss you. It's been a year. I seen you? Don't you mean since I've seen you? And now top of me and Jennifer are now boyfriend and girlfriend. How have you been? Okay then. People, just take a look at this. Okay then. You do not do that for many reasons. Firstly, it's very choppy and it confuses the reader. Secondly, you're using way too many commas in there when that could be broken up into several sentences. And finally, just don't do it. Let's continue. Marty says Doc tells Marty he been up to the last year. I have been busy, the deep past is doomed, and we have to fix it. Doc says, seriously. Marty raises a eyebrow. Don't you mean an eyebrow? Because normally when you have the letter A before a word that begins with a vowel, that's grammatically incorrect and it doesn't make sense. That's why you have the word an. Because an is pretty much the word A, except you have it before a word that begins with a vowel. This was taught back in grade school. Yeah, grade school. Maybe you should go back to grade school if you're not in it already. Why, Doc? What the matter with is something wrong? What the matter with is something wrong? no comment. Marty asked, don't you mean asked? Or asks, if you're writing in present tense. Yes, Marty, have trouble. Come with me. We don't have time. After that, Doc and Marty raced to a recognizable time machine, the DeLorean, which I thought was destroyed, but, oh, okay, they say that it was rebuilt. I see you rebuilt the DeLorean, Marty says. Then Doc, don't you mean then, Doc interrupted his thoughts. What thoughts? He was speaking out loud. Those aren't thoughts. Marty, we are going into a deep, which means we change the forms. Drink this. Marty looked at a Pepsi bottle with brown liquid. When they drank it, tasted like Pepsi. After Doc and Marty finished drinking, they transformed into dinosaurs. Wow, this heavy. Why are we dinosaurs, Doc? Marty says with shock. Doc says we have to go back to the time of dinosaurs to fix the past before our time doesn't exist anymore. Don't you mean our time? Not our time. Keep in mind the person writing this might be a child, so I'm going to restrain myself. Hurry to the DeLorean. Marty and Doc, I guess they both said that, get in the DeLorean as Doc sets time to go back into the past. We are going to go back 65 million years into the past. After Doc set the time, they started to drive at 10 miles per hour, then 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 85 miles per hour. Here we go, Marty. When they reached 88 miles per hour, they were gone. After they left, Jennifer calls for Marty. Don't you mean left? Marty, where are you? Where did he go? Jennifer rubs her chin, wondering what happened to Marty. What she does not know is that Marty and Doc have went back to the time of dinosaurs. Back in Time song is playing as Back to the Future 4 title is shown. Here you go, guys. This is where Doc and Marty begin their adventure into the time of dinosaurs. I'll write about Littlefoot and his friends, and Littlefoot's dream with his mother show him Doc and Marty as dinosaurs. Can't wait to write another chapter. See you soon. Bye. Okay, this story, from what I can gather from this chapter, is going to be choppy and all over the place. Yeah. I will admit, the concept of it does sound interesting. And the reason why it sounds interesting is because it could technically happen because of the time machine. However, it doesn't make any sense that Doc Brown would have this Pepsi Cola that turns you into a dinosaur. I mean, he's a oh wait, I don't know. I mean, maybe if he got it from the future, perhaps. But if it went into more detail, maybe it'd make more sense. But how the story is set up structurally is a mess. Like I said in like GoldenEye 2, Revenge of Alec and Sharptooth, I am wondering if the person who wrote this is a child. Because of how it's just set up. I mean, and the fact that a lot of this person's stories don't go above the T rating. Actually, none of them do. Most of them are mainly K+ or T. But whether the person's a child or not, they really do need to get themselves a beta reader and clean up their spelling and grammar. I wouldn't really say spelling, really. I'd say more of the grammar. And the overuse of commas. Is this story a step up from the other story of theirs I've read? Not really. I'd say it's kind of a tie. And that story, I didn't read the entirety of that either because it was too long. So, we'll see. Well, I'm the FanFic Critic. I read it, you listen, and I'm going to go back to the Atari. Da 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 da.